Hello, welcome to Carling In Off the Bar. We're at the George and Dragon Pub. We're just down the road at the Etihad. They are staging the Manchester Derby in about an hour and a half. It's very exciting.
Laura, what a show we have lined up. Should we go and meet the guests?
Yes, please.
Let's do it.
Right, our first guest is an incredibly talented comedian and impressionist. He's also a huge Man United fan. It's Al Foran. Oh, give him some love. Give him some love. If you sign that, he's going to sign this ball. We'll tell you what we're going to do with that in just a minute. Thank you very much. You've actually smudged your own signature there, Al. Well done.
Next up, he is a former Champions League semi-final with Leeds, a former League Cup winner with Borough, former Man City fullback and England international, Laura.
Most importantly, though, he came runner-up in the 2012 Celebrity MasterChef.
That is true. It's Danny Mills!
Hello, Danny Mills. Danny Mills is also signing this ball.
That's a proper signature, by the way.
That is a proper signature.
Watch
He's done that before. You'll get better at that, Al. You'll get better at that. Can I have that ball? You take that pen and you follow Smithy over there. Now, if you would like a chance to win this ball, I did just say it was smudged. It actually looks fabulous. Al Foran and Daddy's signatures there. Just comment in the box below, tag a mate, and we will pick somebody at random at the end of the show. You could win this ball. So I'll pass that over to you now. Now, obviously, we also have a Twitter poll for you. Now, what we want to know is one question, one simple question. Who's going to win tonight, City, United, or is it going to be a draw? So if you want to get involved in that Twitter poll, go to Soccer AM's Twitter page and take part in that now. Now, follow me over here. I'm Johnny Smithy.
Say that we are now going to cross live to the Etihad to speak to our two good friends, Jamie Carragher and Gary Neville. Evening, lads. How are you?
Evening.
Gary, I'll start with you. Obviously, you played for Man United for many years. Very successful time at United against some huge derby games. You played against the likes of Leeds, Man City, Liverpool. How big was this as a derby fixture when you played, and has it changed since City's recent development, if you like?
Yeah, it's changed a lot. I mean, the last probably year or two that I was at United, I wasn't playing too much then. It became a far bigger game. In the first, I don't know, 10, 12 years at the club, it was obviously a derby, but I think far more important for City than it was for United. The Liverpool game, Arsenal games, Chelsea games were always more important, and I think that obviously as City spent the money, they got a higher standard player in. Towards the end, they were starting to push us, and it felt a little bit uncomfortable. It feels like I got out at the right time.
Great answer. Jamie, Man United on a good run of form of late, Europa League semi-finalists. They will obviously overtake Man City tonight for the first time in a while if they win. Do you think they should be prioritising one or the other? What do you think is their easiest route for Champions League football, the Europa League or top four?
I think the Europa League, I think that's been the feeling for probably last 6 weeks, 2 months, that maybe will be the easier route, but they keep winning in the league and they're getting close to the top four. They've felt like they've been in 5th, 6th position now for 4 or 5 months, and they haven't quite been able to ever get into the top four, but they're getting closer now. I think they're putting serious pressure on Man City, Liverpool, especially if they win tonight. I think tonight's a huge night for United. I think if they lose, it'll be very difficult for them to catch City. Then they just keep an eye maybe on Liverpool. But if they win tonight, I think it blows the top four right open.
Gary, big loss for United. No Zlatan, no Pogba. How much do you think it will affect their squad?
Lose personality and character. I think that obviously people have been critical of Pogba, but he does give them a presence in midfield and arrogance. And I think in games like this tonight, you do need players who'll take the ball. City have got that. And there will be players in City's team, you know, the likes of De Bruyne and their other players, Yaya Toure, they do always accept the ball. I think that authority is big in these games. You've got to show that you're able to handle the pressure and be able to take the ball in tight areas. And I think Pogba is brilliant at that. And whilst his output maybe in terms of sort of goals and assists haven't impressed everybody, I think that that would be the biggest miss tonight, that he would have gone out there and showed that level of arrogance. Zlatan, yeah, it's a miss. I think that they've gained something as well. The goals they've scored against Chelsea, the goals they've scored against Burnley, have shown a different United, one that can attack quickly, one that can counter-attack. And I think that ultimately with Zlatan, they were a lot more static, but obviously he's a big personality. But I think if you company Otamendi, Stones, whoever plays at centre-back for City, you'd have to say that probably the likes of Martial and Rashford, they'll be a bit more nervous maybe playing against him. I think company might think that Zlatan is a better fit for him in terms of match-up than maybe a Rashford or a Martial who could cause him problems.
Boys, thank you so much. Great to talk to you. And just remember that we are just down the road from you, so if you fancy a drink later on, come and join us in the pub. Now, something very special for you now. This is Draw My Rivalry.
It's the local derby, given extra edge by the fact that these huge clubs are now both title contenders. Oh, sorry. Both scrapping over that last Champions League spot.
But fourth place is like a trophy. Even Guardiola's admitted it.
Yes, it's the titanic struggle for fourth place. It's Pep versus Jose. It's red versus blue. It's Noel and Liam versus Andy Tate. It's Man United versus Man City.
On one side, it's a club for genuine football fans. That real Mancunian support versus a plastic club from Salford who have a huge following in Surrey. Southeast Asia, and where is it you're from, Joe? Cornwall.
Devon, actually. I mean, if you want to rehash old chestnuts about our two clubs, then let's start with the Red Devils' record-breaking haul of league titles, our stacks of FA and League Cups, and the fact that our 3 European titles place us firmly in the European elite.
History. You're becoming as bad as the Scousers.
Except we've already won 1 cup this season and could well add another European trophy as well.
At the start of the season, everyone assumed Pep would run away with the league.
And that Jose would instantly transform United back into title contenders. These two superstar managers may not be resuming their rivalry at the very top, but the key battles will all be on the pitch. Paul Pogba arrived with the highest price tag in the world as a millstone around his neck, but now he's really coming into his own. Did you see that incredible pass he pulled off against Anderlecht?
But Paul the overpriced octopus will have to be at his slippery best to evade Fernandinho. If anyone can stop the little twerp dabbing, then it's our midfield general, Fernandinho. We just have to hope he doesn't lose his head like he did against Chelsea.
Talking of overpriced players, let's move on to John Stones. I think the lightning-quick Marcus Rashford, who could easily develop into a world beater now Zlatan's out, is going to cause Stones more than a few problems.
Stonesy is quality, and everyone knows the boy is going to be world class as he develops under Pep's watchful eye.
Is that the same Pep Guardiola who's done such an amazing job at making the Man City defence so solid?
And yet you expect Rashford to achieve his full potential under the king of free-flowing football, Jose Mourinho. Come on.
Give it a rest. Aguero's had a bit of a choppy season, picking up an uncharacteristic ban for violent conduct. Some would even call it assault on Winston Reid.
But he still managed to score his 150th goal for the club and sign a deal that keeps him a sky blue until 2019, showing just how much he loves the club.
But first he'll have to beat a fitness test, and then he'll have to beat Mr. Safe Hands himself, David De Gea. De Gea has the second best clean sheet record in the entire Premier League.
So there we have it. This is a mouth-watering tie. Maybe both teams might have hoped that this fixture could have been a title decider at the start of the season.
But it's much more exciting. It's for the fourth place trophy.
That's all we've got time for. Thanks for watching, and back to you guys in the studio.
I love those. Right, we introduced you to him earlier on. It's time to get to know Al Foran a little bit better. Al, for those that haven't come across you yet on the internet, wherever you may be, you are an impressionist. You do some incredible impressions of lots of celebrities, sportsmen, things like that. I want to know where it all started for you, though.
I mean, it started off with all of the family duos, the family parties, impersonating aunties, uncles, cousins, and then it kind of generally became celebrities and footballers and, you know, and actors and boxers, you know, so it just kind of grew and grew from there on, And since I was a kid, like.
Yeah, in terms of your popularity, it was when Conor McGregor was on the rise. That you were impersonating him, and you really started to pick up traction, didn't you? Yeah,
obviously Conor McGregor's probably one of the biggest sports stars in Ireland since Roy Keane. So, I mean, once I started impersonating him, it just went everywhere, all over the internet. It was huge. It was around 2015 when he was just making that surge up in the UFC. So, yeah, it was a very big thing,
Now, we do have some footage of you doing that Conor McGregor impression, and the person you're doing it to is rather special. Have a look at this.
I'm in Floyd. Ireland is a 35-minute flight from here. Dublin is a 35-minute flight from here. You said, give the fans what they want. Let's give them what they want. The $500 million fight. You can't deny the fighting Irish. The fighting Irish are something else, Floyd.
Oh, they loved it in the studio, didn't they? Right, that was Floyd Mayweather. And what I love about this, that was at a charity event, wasn't it? A charity ball.
Yeah, in Birmingham, yeah.
And he invited you on stage with an hour's notice, is that right?
Yeah, it was an hour's notice, basically. I was asked to go up on stage to do Connor to him, and then I just kind of started doing more impressions. I started doing De Niro, Joe Pesci, Mike Tyson, Trump. So he enjoyed. It was enjoyable. It was mad being up there with him, you know.
I bet it was.
It's Floyd Mayweather on an hour's notice.
Now, just to give everybody an example of how committed you are to the impressions that you do, you were admitted to hospital with a pretty severe case of tonsillitis, and that didn't even stop you, did it?
No.
Let's have a look at this video now.
We're in hospital at the moment. What happened?
You got very sick.
I got very sick.
Not very sick. Oh, we got cookie dough ice cream.
What, cookie dough?
Cookie dough ice cream.
Cookie
To
dough.
make you all better.
Oh no, till I get all better.
All better.
We're going to be alright.
You're going to be good.
We're going to be good.
You're going to be better than new.
Better than no. So you just got to tell everybody on the
Cookie dough.
page. Cookie dough. Cookie dough.
I got some laughs in the pub here. Now, not taking away from that impression, that was a very, very good impression of Robert De Niro. I think the star, personally, from that video is your mum with the cookie dough.
Oh, she's a character. She's in a couple of the videos.
Yeah, I've seen
and
it.
she's always reluctant to get involved in them. And then once I get the camera out, she's there right in front of me. You know?
We have to get it from someone, don't you?
Yeah, I'd say it comes from her, definitely, the
Now,
humour side.
we know that you're a United fan, and you've met some pretty cool United players in the past. We've got some pictures of them. We actually spoke to one of them earlier on, Gary Neville. What was that like meeting him?
Yeah, he knew of me. He was in hotel football, and because he said to me, "Oh, you're the impressionist guy. That's who you are." So I was like, "Oh, thanks, yeah, that's me." So I got in a picture with him. So it was,
you slipped in a little impression of him there. That was very good as well. It's not just Gary Neville. Also David May. You met him as well.
Yeah, I know David fairly well. He's a lovely chap. You know, he's good fun, David. Really nice guy.
Have you ever met anybody that doesn't like their impression of you? Of them, not of you?
Yeah, Conor.
Conor McGregor?
Yeah, Conor in Dublin, yeah.
Oh, he's your favourite, no?
Yeah, look, he's basically what he... I'll relay what he said to me. I went up to him, he said to me, he goes, you sound nothing like me. You sound absolutely nothing like me. But I like the other impressions you do. I like the Mike Tyson. So that was all right, I suppose.
I mean, I think I'd be a little bit scared of him if you did that to me. Now, is there anyone that you want to do an impression of to their face?
Yeah, Jeff Stelling.
Jeff Stelling. Oh, interesting.
I do, Jeff, yeah.
Now, the good thing is, Jeff is actually an avid viewer of this show. He never misses one, and hopefully he's watching now. So we're going to give you the opportunity to look down the barrel there of the camera and do your best Jeff Stelling.
Well, Jeff, if you're speaking right now, I'd love to have a quick little conversation with you. You're a fantastic presenter on Sky Sports. I loved your Let's Talk a Saturday. It's so exciting. Everybody, Cammy, all of them. It's fantastic. I love it. Hartlepool for life.
Absolutely brilliant. Right, Al, don't go anywhere because we're going to be chatting to you a little bit later on. But for now, through to Smithy.
Great stuff, Laura. Cheers out. Right, Danny, we're about to do AMA, so we've given the chance for your fans to ask you absolutely anything. But before we have a look at the viewers' questions, we've got some footage of you in a recent charity game. You've not lost it. Talk us through this.
Unbelievable. Great feat. Incredible. I don't know where that came from. I never had that. I mean, Biggs has put on a bit of weight. What a finish.
I mean, you must be a bit gutted the cameraman didn't actually keep up with it because you hit it with that much pace.
It was so good. I mean, it was like blink and you miss it. That's people didn't appreciate that when I played.
Instincts.
That's the problem, you see.
OK. And if you thought that was good, this is my favourite clip from that game. A couple of minutes later, you did this. This is Bruce Grobbelaar in goal. How did he react when this happened?
Oh, do you know what? I think he was just happy to save it again. So quick. Look at that.
To be fair, he doesn't go down. A lot of players would go down.
I think we'd had a bit of a night out the day before, so I think he was a little bit worse wear and probably didn't see that one coming.
OK, literally didn't see it coming. OK, right, AMA, time for the questions to ask your fans. Sorry, to ask you any question. The first one was sent in. Let's have a look at it.
What was the hardest game you ever took part in?
That's from Paul. Hardest game you ever
Hardest
took
game
part
I ever played in would have been England-Argentina, Sapporo. 2002 World Cup. We had to win. Never ever beaten Argentina. It was inside. in a dome, really unusual. It was a must-win game, and Argentina at that time were the favourites for the competition.
Yeah, we've got a photo of you from that tournament. Now, you played every single minute of this tournament for England, didn't you?
Yeah, I was lucky. Gary never got injured.
I know she didn't mention that to him earlier.
No, so I got a chance. But yeah, no, great experience. You know, it was just amazing.
Danny, how did that England team never win anything? Look at the players there: Owen, Beckham, Scholes, Seaman, Rio.
Well,
incredible.
I mean, realistically, it's a world-class side. Probably apart from myself. Probably Trevor had gone twice and come back, and gone again and come back because people were injured. You know, so there was probably 8 world-class players in that side at the time. We just didn't get that bit of luck.
No.
You know, Ronaldinho fluked one, didn't he?
He did. I remember that game vividly. I was absolutely devastated when that went in. OK, let's have a look at the next question.
Now, Danny Mills, who inspired you to play?
Apologies for how that's framed. It looks like he's a bit tired there. That's Ethan. It's fair to say Ethan didn't inspire you to play. Who inspired you to play? I'd like that one.
You know what? Probably my brother. I mean, brother's 3 years older, and they just... You know, when you're the little brother, you just want to be your big brother, don't you? You know, you want to be with his mates, and you get beaten up, and you get told to go and fetch the ball and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, I suppose just playing with my brother in the park and that sort of thing.
Did you have one role model, one play you wanted to be like?
Bizarre. I was obviously from Norwich originally. Chris Woods. I wanted to be a goalkeeper for some bizarre reason. And then realised I wasn't very good.
OK, so you went to full-back.
Yeah, and then I saw it came like Steve Bruce. You know, I went for the proper glamour players when I was a kid.
I was going to say, yeah, the real glamour players. Good question, Ethan. We laughed earlier, but it was a good question. Let's have a look at the next one.
The best player you've ever come up against?
That's from Will, and he's sort of to the point there. Best player you've ever come up against?
I mean, this is a really hard one. You always go against the players that gave you a really hard time. I mean, how long have you got? Because there's a long list. But I mean, one player that absolutely tore me apart was David Ginola. I mean, on his day, he was immense. I mean, you go through it. You go through the Brazilian team, Real Madrid team, Barcelona team. I mean, I had more than 1 or 2 bad days.
You're just name dropping now, aren't you? The players that you played against.
It's not until you go back and look at it. Probably one of the best partnerships I played with Shevchenko and Bierhoff for AC Milan at the time. Probably the best partnership in Europe, and it was me and Michael Dubry. And even the Leeds fans went, "Oh no!"
Really?
By the time, and we won.
Good question again. A bit strange framing again from that one. We need to work on how they're filming these.
These kids have got no idea, have they, about phones these days?
Good effort though. Right, let's have a look at the next one. So,
I wonder what I was going to see then.
Yeah, you can on Snapchat, obviously, you don't have to talk, you can just go for the visual display. He wants to know, what badge did you prefer, the old or the current Man City crest? Oh, quite a good question.
I think you've got to go with the old one. You know, why change it? Why change for change's sake? It's part of history. It's part of the club. It shouldn't go messing about and that sort of thing.
OK, that's another Ethan sent that in. OK, last question. We've got one more. This is a good one as well.
I know it's a bit of a random question, but if you were to be any superhero, what would you be?
Right, again, I might have to repeat that because the framing isn't brilliant and he actually ends his recall before he finishes the sentence. He did say, if you could be any superhero... So he's asked me anything. You can ask Danny absolutely anything. What superhero would you be?
There's only one superhero, Superman.
Why?
Well, because he's the only genuine superhero. Everybody else becomes, for whatever reason, he was born a superhero. Ooh. And he's the ultimate. That's it.
That's a good answer, isn't it?
He's the only superhero. That's it.
Yeah.
Spider-Man, rubbish. Batman, nonsense. Get rid of
there's a lot of love for Superman in this part.
Right. And he wears his pants on the outside of his trousers.
Yeah, so I can't argue with that answer. It's a great answer. Danny, thank you very much. Everyone, Danny Mills! Right, later on in the show, Danny will be going against our famous emoji quiz. But before that, I went all the way to Hollywood to speak to Fast and Furious actor Scott Eastwood to see how well he knows his emojis. Before you watch this, just bear in mind, he is American and he knows absolutely nothing about football. Scott, very nice to meet you.
Hey, pleasure to meet you.
Right, you're about to play the world-famous emoji quiz. Okay. How excited are you about this?
Good.
Do you know anything about the emoji quiz?
No.
We've got an example for you. So this is a non-footballing Hollywood actor. Say what you see. Who is that person?
That's Scott.
Scott.
In a baby's crib.
Yeah. No, that's it. That's Scott.
That's Scott.
Then what? Then that is.
That's north. That's compass.
Yes, but what is it pointing at?
It's pointing south.
No, it's not. It's pointing at
east.
Yes.
Okay.
Scott east.
Scott Eastwood.
Scott Eastwood, there we go. Do you understand it? Yeah,
I
we
see
go.
what we're doing
So
now.
that's what we're doing,
I like
yeah. So
that.
that's basically it. Say what you see. Who is that footballer, Scott?
Sun, tape, back chicken.
Sun tape back chicken never played in the MLS. Shorten it down. It's not nighttime. It is.
It's daytime.
Yes, so it's day.
Day, music.
No, it's not. It's not. It's a cassette. Something cassette. Before
day
DVDs came in.
Ah, yes.
So that is
I remember those days.
So what would that be?
Day tape?
No, it's not a tape. It's. Okay, go with the surname. What is that? What is that?
That's a piece of meat.
Yes, but it's a specific piece of meat.
Turkey?
No, it's not a turkey.
Looks like a turkey.
It's not. But it's meant to be.
Pretty sure it's a turkey.
An orange piece of meat. If I give you that.
Day tape.
No, it's not tape. It's video.
Video cassette.
So shorten the word video. If you shorten the word vid, yeah. So David.
David.
That's his first name.
David.
Beckham. David Beckham. There we go.
I don't know
101.
how he's a piece of chicken.
There we go.
That's weird.
I apologise for the turkey ham.
That's a turkey.
Slight misconception. Right. This is an easy one. Say what you see, Scott.
It's 2 Priuses. 2 smart cars.
It's not just without the brand.
It's 2 very little cars.
Without the
that
brand.
Dwayne Johnson would not fit in.
What is it though? It's just quite simply, without branding it, it's a
small car.
Without the small, it's just a
electric.
Just say the word car twice.
Car 2. Too fast, too furious.
Just say the same word twice. Say car.
Car.
Kaka, it is. Well done. Last one.
That's a man.
What is he doing?
Very fair man. He's like that needs to put some sunscreen.
You've not really got the idea of this game, Scott, have you?
I don't. That guy's rowing a boat.
Yes.
And there's a bee.
Yes.
Robbie.
Yes.
Robbie.
Yes. You might get this.
Robbie Key.
Yes.
Robbie Keenan.
Robbie Keane. Congratulations. Right. It's fair to say you haven't played the emoji quiz before, have you?
I haven't played it.
How do you think you got on?
I'm gonna go with really well. I went with probably top of the pack.
But thank you very much for your time anyway. And as a present,
Wait, I get
to
a
end the
present
feature,
too?
as a present, that is your very own Scott Eastwood emoji
Wait, let's
quiz,
show the
and we
camera.
can
Let's
let you
show.
keep that.
That's good. Well, I'm gonna put that in my house because it's obviously beautiful.
Thank you for your time.
He didn't quite get it, did he?
He didn't get it. My favourite was car, but he was great. He looked great. He is great. Right, we've got both of our guests here again because we're going to have a little look ahead to the Manchester derby tonight and ask you a few questions about it. Now, Al, you're obviously a huge Man United fan. You brought your shirt on. Thank you very much for that. Who was your idol growing up?
Oh, Paul Scholes, no doubt. Paul Scholes, definitely.
Yeah, you can see a little picture of him there.
Just everything about him.
Everything about him, inspiring. Now, I know that you played against him, Danny.
Once or
What was he
twice.
like? How good was he?
Well, I mean, yeah, just stop him at all costs. Simple as that. I mean, that's a perfectly legal tackle, surely. There's nothing wrong with that.
I mean, absolutely, you've really made contact there. What impresses me is how high you get your leg up. I think
I mean, that's
it's
a good
amazing,
stretch.
isn't it?
Nearly pulled my hamstring.
Can you
doing
still do that now, do you think?
No, no chance.
Absolutely
Can
not.
you?
Yes, I can, actually, but that's not for this show.
Danny, I've completely lost my train of thought there with that, but you played for Man City and for Leeds against Man United. Interesting hearing what Gary Neville was saying earlier about how the Manchester derby in his playing days, which was, of course, your playing days as well, wasn't the biggest game. What was the bigger game for you when you were at Leeds or Man City when you played Man United?
It's probably Leeds.
Was it?
We were trying to challenge for the title. You know, at the time, Champions League football, European football. When I went to Man City, we were mid-table at best. And I think it was a big game for City fans. It was the point where City fans would happily beat Man United and get relegated.
Wow.
It was that sort of thing. The rivalry was that good. But for obviously United, they had bigger things to worry about, obviously winning titles and whatever else they did. Whatever.
Yeah, just a few times. Yeah. Fiery games to play in, though, I bet.
Oh, definitely. I mean, and also you could tackle back then.
Yeah.
You know, so you could.
As we saw, yeah, we saw.
Well, exactly. Yeah. I don't think that was even a foul. But so you could get stuck in. You know,
Yeah.
of course, the fans love that sort of stuff.
Yeah, great. Al, we're having an interesting chat in the office of the day to a lot of United fans. What would you rather, finishing top 4 and pipping Man City, or win the Europa League? Because obviously both are Champions League places.
Finished top 4 above Manchester City.
Wow.
Yeah.
And it's been applauded in the pub as well.
Yeah, but that's only because they don't want
Absolutely.
City in the Champions League next year.
No, absolutely. Yeah.
You'd take that over a trophy?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I would. Look, I'm looking at the Europa League from my perspective. It is the realistic one to go for. But I think that's the icing on the cake. Seriously, I do.
Right, Danny.
It's a bit like the Community Shield, isn't it, Europa League?
Danny, when Pep came into the league this year, there were such high hopes for him. People thought that people thought that City were going to win the league. It's not quite worked out that way. What do you think's gone wrong for Pep?
I think he's maybe lack of quality of players compared to what he's used to. You know, at Barcelona, I think he won the treble in his first season, second season, whatever it was. Outstanding, world-class players. Bayern Munich, world-class players. He will get it right, but it will just take him a little bit of time. We all thought after 10 games, that's it. Yeah. He's mastered it. But I think he needs better players. The way he plays is very, very different to any other manager, and it takes time to get used to it.
Yeah. Right, boys, I'm very excited about this little segment. It's called Sell Your Side. Now, you've got 30 seconds each to convince us that your side is better than the other side. So, yeah, as you're the home team tonight, you're going to go first, Danny. 30 seconds down that camera there to sell City. Are you ready?
I am.
3, 2, 1, go.
Well, City is a proper club. It's actually in Manchester. This is fake. This might as well be MK Dons. It should say Salford Industrial Estate United. I mean, you had a dictator at the top that ruled everything. He's now gone, a bit like Julius Caesar, and you've fallen apart. You've not won anything since. Not even made European football. City, up-and-coming club, traditional in Manchester.
Wow. You do that quite. Okay, right. Al, are you ready to defend
ready,
your side?
yeah.
3, 2, 1, go.
I mean, it's all so familiar. They obsess about us. They obsess about us. They can't stop talking about us. 20 league titles, 3 Champions Leagues. 2 World Player of the Years, Ronaldo, George Best. Bobby Charlton, Wayne Rooney, the most successful English players of all time. All of the league titles. Sir Alex Ferguson, all of it. They obsess about us, and that's why we're the best. Forwards to Manchester, absolutely.
Laura, that was so close, I can't really call a winner.
No, I mean, we kind of need something to decide it, don't we?
Well, it's lucky that you said that, because we are going to decide that with the famous Barstool Challenge. Here it is. Now, I'm going to let you go first, because Danny went first last time. Danny, if you go over there with Laura. Now, the rules are very simple. All you've got to do is keep the ball in the air for as long as possible with as many touches. As soon as the ball hits the deck, it is dead. Understand?
Right. Okay.
Okay, here is the leaderboard. Now, Danny, I want to come to you here because Trevor Sinclair, former teammate of yours from Man City and England, is top with 20. What was he like as a player?
I mean, great player. Very, very fit lad. But he was the first player to get me sent off.
Okay.
Cheat, diver.
Can I just say as well, just to mention the board while we're talking about it, Ian Sterling did so badly, he didn't even make the board. I think he got 1. So, just to let you know, you want to get more than 1. 20 to win. Are you feeling? How
can you not get 1?
Yeah. Let's go for it.
And a little bit of knowledge about Al, just for now, is that he did actually play football when he was younger. He played centre-back and right-back. But more importantly, he got a yellow belt in Taekwondo. Well done. Well done.
Yes.
Really helps for the Barstool Challenge, doesn't it, the Taekwondo? Right, in your own time.
Right,
let's count them in. Let's count the touches in.
1, 2, 3. Oh, he's made the board!
He's on there.
He's on the board.
You made the board. Right, Danny.
Thank God.
20 to... What, 3 to beat Al?
3 to bum. I'll be happy with 4.
20, if you can swap places. 20 to beat your friend Trevor Sinclair. Do you still speak to him?
Yeah. He's good. Great lad, Trev.
Good, yeah, top
really
man.
good lad.
OK, in your own time.
Bounce start.
However you want. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23.
He's done it! 23!
Guys, Danny Mills is the new leader with 23. Wow.
Well done, Danny. Now, we are an educational show, so we're just going to round up a few things that we have learnt on tonight's show. The first one, I actually believe, is that Danny Mills is probably the most impressive at the Barstool Challenge. Technically, he is.
I'll give you
well
that.
done,
Second
Danny.
thing that we have learned is that, well, how many impressions have you got in your locker? But I did not know he has a brilliant Jeff Stelling impression as well.
And finally, we did ask you at the beginning of the show to vote on our Twitter poll who you thought was going to win tonight, whether you thought it would be City, United, or if you thought it was going to be a draw. And I can tell you, it's United that people think are going to win tonight. tonight.
Wow.
So that game is starting shortly, actually. So you better go. Make sure you join us because we're going to be back on air, not only on Facebook, YouTube, the website and the apps, but also they're letting us on Sky Sports 1. That's at 10:30 with these guests and also the incredible Matt Hudson. He is going to be performing his ode to Manchester Derby. We'll see you then. Bye-bye.
On all screens, on the go, and the best bits on demand.